Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So today we are back with some really cute beachy nails, and this is actually going to be a press-on nail set for both of my hands. And I think this is the first time on my channel that I'm doing both of my hands, like not really, but like kind of basically. So I'm first just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of putty onto these little like nail stands. And after all the putty's on, I just went ahead and sized out all of my nail tips, and we're going to be doing some almond nails today. So these are going to be getting cut pretty short. Now, if you have never done press on nails, just a little bit of a disclaimer. It is so hard to like get them to be the same length. So I tried my best. I don't know if they're exactly the same length, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. So after I cut them down using my tip cutters, I'm just going to cut down the sides because again, we are doing some almond nails. Now, I don't know what it is, but once I kind of start to like a specific shape, I just love to do it like all the time. And with that being said, I feel like it's been so long since I've done square nails. Like, I don't know, I just feel like a different person because as you guys know, I'm a square nail girly and I just really don't experiment too much with different shapes. But almond is really starting to get up there with like my favorite shapes of all time. And it's so weird. Like, I don't know, I feel like I need to get back to my roots and do a square nail set. But for today, we're doing something super cute and summery. So I felt like the shape kind of worked with this nail set. Also, the original nail set is almond, so it only made sense. Now, because I am going to be like doing an overlay on these nails, I'm not going to shape them up right now. I'm just going to cut them into the rough shape. And once we move on to the shaping and filing process, that's when I'm going to go ahead and actually smooth out the shape and make it nice and perfect. So for now, it's a little bit ugly. Just ignore it. Now, before I do my overlay, I really want to get rid of the shine on the surface of these nail tips because you really want to make sure that the gel has something to stick to. Now for today, it's actually going to be very interesting, okay? I'm actually going to be doing a gel overlay, which okay, here's the thing. I don't really work with gel that often, especially not like a builder gel or a hard gel. If anything, I'll use polygel every once in a while, but even then, I like to stick mostly with acrylics. So yeah, it was definitely very different for me to try and do a gel overlay, which you guys will see a little bit later and I'll talk about it then. Okay, so by a little bit later, I meant like in 10 seconds. So let's talk about it now. This was actually very interesting because like I said, I don't work with gel. So this was kind of just me experimenting. Now, the reason I am doing an overlay is because typically when I do any type of press-on nail set, I really do not like to leave the surface blank and like just have it be the tip because these tips typically do not have any type of structure at all. And I cannot go outside like that. I can't just not have an apex. I can't just have no type of structure at all. So I wanted to do something that would at least give it a little bit of strength and structure, but I really did not feel like playing around with acrylic or polygel even. And also because I am doing an overlay, I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't shrink too much because that's a problem I run into when I'm working with acrylic on top of press-on nails. It tends to shrink the nail tip, and me personally, because I'm not like super good at doing press-ons, I don't really know how to work with that. So I felt like this would be a really good alternative, but I don't really know. I feel like it kind of shrunk a little bit. However, it didn't take nearly as long as it would if I were to do acrylic. And by the way, I did do this in 2 coats. Now, for all of my gel girlies, anyone who does gel X nails or like hard gel nails, I don't know if that's what you call it, definitely let me know how bad my technique is because I know it's bad, okay? You don't even have to lie. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad I did because I feel like it kind of worked. I definitely had to go to town when I was filing, like because they were a little bit lumpy and I was just like, no, I'm not leaving it like this. So yeah, let me know where I could improve and what methods I could use to get better at hard gel overlays. But this was definitely an experience and I definitely want to play around with this method a little bit more in the future, like even on top of like my actual nails and not just on press-ons. Also, while we are on the topic of press-ons, definitely let me know if you guys will be interested in doing more press-ons in the future. I don't really do them that often because I just don't wear them. Like, I don't know, like for the most part, I just do my nails for videos and then like 99.9% of my life, I just wear my regular nails. But I'm actually doing this nail set because I actually thought it would be a great idea for me to do these since I think I'm going to the beach in August. So I wanted to do something that was kind of beachy and something that would go with my bathing suit. Now, my bathing suit that I'm probably going to wear is brown, which doesn't match at all. But anyway, and even if it doesn't match, I'm still going to wear it because why not? Anyway, definitely let me know if you guys will be interested in more press-on videos videos. The last time I did press-ons on my channel was for my anime nail series, and we only have one episode out, so we definitely have to do another one very, very soon. The first one I ever did was for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that nail set was crazy. Like, it took me a good while, but it was definitely worth it. And I feel like, you know what, we've got to do one again. So I kind of definitely did a little bit of shopping for my next nail set, and maybe in a community tab post I will show you some of the stuff I got, because I want you guys to guess and see what the stuff is for, what anime I'm going to be doing. It's probably not going to be that hard to guess because I already mentioned it before. So anyway, I want you guys to guess what my next one is going to be. I'm actually very excited because the stuff I got for it is so cute, and I really want this nail set to embody this anime. So yeah, I'm very excited for that, as you can tell. Okay, so we're now onto the shaping and filing process, and I just have my dust collector ready. And before I do anything, I'm going to make sure to wipe off that sticky layer. Now, initially, I was actually going to file these nails using a ceramic bit, but I quickly changed over to a nail file simply because it was a little bit easier to handle, especially because I didn't really have any type of, I didn't have anything to hold on to when I was filing these nails. So yeah, it was just a little bit more difficult. Now, in this step, I'm making sure to smooth out the surface because, again, I'm not a hard gel type of person, so I had a lot to correct. And also I made sure to perfect the almond shape and just make everything nice and smooth. Afterwards, I'm going to take my mini buffer just to completely smooth out the surface. I also really want to make sure to buff the sides of the nails because you don't want it to be super sharp and it's poking you and scratching you. Okay, so this is what these are looking like so far. So now we're gonna go ahead and start doing the nail art for this nail set. So this nail set is actually inspired by Ali Colecat on Instagram. And can we just talk about how she is really giving it up this summer? Girl, I don't know what it is, but every single nail set she does, I instantly want to try it because they're so unique and just different and interesting. And her summer nail sets are just hitting. Like, I don't know where she gets her inspiration, but I need to know because it's just so good. And I just think she's such an amazing nail artist and just artist in general. Like, if you've ever gone to her Instagram page and looked at her reels, like, not only is she so good at doing nail sets, but she's an amazing artist. Like, it's insane. But anyways, enough fangirling. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this. My nail palette is kind of simple. It's just a collection of blue, orange, and red. I honestly feel that for this nail set, you can kind of go with different colors depending on what you have and what you don't have. But I decided to stick to kind of what she had going on in the original. That's kind of a trend you're gonna notice for the entire video. Like, I didn't really stray too far from the reference photo. But of course, if you feel like you wanna do that and just like change whatever you want, I definitely think it'll work. Okay, so as you can see, I just went in and did the base colors for all of these nails. And I actually think that in the original photo, it's a clear base for most of these nails, but I opted for a milky white for the clear nails because I didn't want to be able to see my actual nails underneath. So that's like mainly one of the only things I changed in this nail set. So after I've got those colors on, I'm going to go over all of my nails except for my pointer finger with a layer of matte top coat. We're going to be creating a nice aura effect. And in my last video, I actually showed you guys this nail palette that I got, or this eyeshadow palette that I got. I don't know what I'm saying. It's a nice eyeshadow palette with so many different colors. Now, oddly enough, it does not have white or black, which is just really inconvenient. So I feel like I need to get another palette with those two colors. But for the most part, it has every single color that you could possibly need. And I really do love it. And can we just talk about how much easier my life is? Not having to stipple on the colors using gel polish and a fan brush. I don't know who I thought I was. Okay, listen, it was a good method, but honestly, I didn't realize how time consuming it was compared to just doing it with eyeshadow. And I'm just like really living. Like, I feel like I'm living life now. Before with the fan brush, I was just surviving, but now I'm alive. Okay, I'm being extra, but still, it's really good. I definitely recommend using a powder or like a nail pigment instead of using, I guess, an airbrush tool, because literally everyone is like not even using them anymore because they break and they jam and they're just not really worth it. So I'm definitely glad that I held out with my fan brush and just didn't get one because it would have just been too much for me. So I will make sure to link everything that I'm using in this video in my description box in case you're wondering exactly what I'm using. Next, I'm going to be using this silver cat eye gel, and in the reference photo, I'm not exactly sure if this is exactly what they used, but just from the photo, I wasn't really able to tell whether they used a cat eye gel or maybe even an iridescent chrome powder. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to be painting this on the entire nail, and I'm going to be using this really cool magnet that I got not too long ago to kind of create some sort of design. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to these magnets, I don't know how to use them. So I kind of just use them and like play around with them until I decide I like it, and then I cure it. So when it comes to creating specific designs, I don't know, I'm very clueless. Don't ask me, I don't know. But after I got the design, I cured it for a full 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna go over the entire surface of all of these nails with a layer of base coat before I move on. And specifically for the ring finger on both of these hands, I'm going to be creating a seashell effect. So the first thing I did was put a layer of base coat onto this nail, and I'm going directly on top of that with this orange and red gel polish. Now I decided to use base coat because I felt like blooming gel might make it a little bit too crazy, and I wanted it to be a little bit more defined, but I don't exactly know if it really made that much of a difference because it definitely still spread a good bit. So you might want to play around with those two. So I'm just striping on a couple of colors, and then afterwards I guess like drug in the middle. Now I don't really understand why I did this because I don't really like it. Like, it didn't really come out exactly the way I wanted it to, but even still I thought it was pretty okay for my first try, and I wasn't going to dwell on it too much because I still had the other hand to go. So I just cured it, and I'm like, okay, let's just move on. So for my pinky finger, I just painted a little red star in the upper right corner of the nail. And for my middle finger, I'm gonna go back in with that milky white on top of the entire surface because we're gonna be creating that water effect. And after I have that painted on, I'm gonna take a little bit of base coat and just start dotting it mainly onto like the blue part. I really wanted to dot it on top of the blue part just to kind of make it stand out from the white. It was definitely more subtle than I had anticipated, but I definitely did not want it to be like too in your face, so I wasn't too upset about it. Now we are going to jump to our thumbnail. Similarly to what we did on our ring finger, I'm gonna use base coat as like my blooming gel, if that makes sense. And I'm just gonna dot a couple of white dots onto the bottom right corner. So now we're gonna jump back to our middle finger, and this is the nail that's gonna have the little, I think it's a goldfish or maybe a koi fish. I don't know, but we're going to be drawing the fish using the same orange color. And for the fins and tails, I did mix a little bit of the milky white into the orange just to kind of make it look a little bit different in comparison to the body of the fish. And afterwards, I'm gonna take that red color just to outline the main body of the fish. This was really just so that I can get a little bit of distinction and I guess depth, if that makes sense. It really wasn't like super realistic, so yeah, it didn't really do too much, but I felt like it was definitely necessary in helping it stand out just a little bit. So now that the main nail art is done, we're gonna go ahead and start creating some of the 3D pieces in this nail set. So for that, I'm gonna be using a little bit of rhinestone glue, and we're gonna start on our ring finger. And I'm using this rhinestone glue to create the texture of that seashell. So I'm taking a really nice and long line art brush, and I'm just creating a nice like glob towards the tip of the nail and dragging it upwards towards the cuticle area. I don't think I showed this in the video, but I did actually do this in 2 layers just to really build up that thickness in the seashell. And after each layer, I did cure that for a full 30 seconds. Now, while that is curing, we're going to jump back to our middle finger and just a little bit of disclaimer for the nail art process. Okay. Here's the thing, I actually really wanted to do this nail set because it was a lot of multitasking. So we're gonna be jumping back and forth between different nails, doing different things, and it's gonna be quite the journey. But anyway, I did go over the body of the fish with a little bit of that cat eye gel, and now we're gonna go over that section with some more rhinestone glue. This is just to help the fish stand out a little bit from the base of my nails. So yeah, back to what I was saying, lots of back and forth, and me as a person, I'm really not great at multitasking. So this was definitely a good challenge for me. I will definitely say that it was very confusing and I had to stop and pause a lot during this entire process. So if you're not good at multitasking and you want to give yourself a little bit of a challenge, definitely give this nail set a go. I'm still not really great at it, but I feel like it was definitely fun just to see how easily confused I get. Because while one nail is curing, I have to do another one and just like keep doing that over and over and over again until the entire nail set's done. And it was a bit much, but you know what? I feel like if I really want to get faster at doing nail sets, I kind of have to do a lot more with nail sets that are like really different and every single nail is different, because I feel like multitasking is very important with nails. So yeah, it was definitely a good challenge. Okay, so I kind of skipped over that part, but I did just do a little starfish on my thumbnail, or a sea star if you will, and I made it look a lot easier than it actually was. It's definitely very difficult to make a star out of a ball, but luckily because it is a sea star, I didn't really have to make it super perfect, and I wanted it to have just a little bit of texture. So now we're gonna go ahead and start gluing on some of these seashells as well as those little gold stars. So I'm using some rhinestone glue, and the first thing I'm going to do on my pointer finger is just glue on some of these seashells. And unfortunately, I do kind of have to break mine, and I don't know if they actually sell pieces that are already like small like this. So I might have to like actually look into this, because having to break them is just not really like my favorite thing to do, because I feel like it just looks a little bit too rigid, and I do like the appearance of smoother edges with these seashells. So so I might just have to buy ones that aren't as like weirdly shaped as these ones. And then after I got those seashells on, I'm gonna cure on a couple of white pearls as well. And you guys already know, a lot of my summer nail sets, especially this year, have incorporated a ton of pearls. And I just love using them for literally everything I do. And as soon as I see a nail set with like pearls, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it. Of course, why not? So definitely let me know what some nail charms that you've just been reaching for a lot more frequently, especially with these like spring and summer nails. For me, like I said, it's definitely those white pearls. I also really love using this solid nail glue gel. Like anytime I feel like I can add like a flower or something that's super 3D, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna use some of that gel. And also I think I'm really starting to like doing aura a lot more. Like before was a hassle, it was a chore, it was something I had to tolerate. But now, if I can do it, if I can add some type of aura or ombre, I'm gonna do it because it's so fun now and it's just so easy. And I feel like it just takes a lot of the hard work out of it by just using like eyeshadow, but yeah. So now we're gonna add some rhinestone swirls to this nail, and actually what I ended up doing is mixing a little bit of rhinestone glue with the white gel polish and a little bit of that cat eye gel. Now I'm almost 100% certain that this is not what they did. I actually think that they just used a like rhinestone glue mixed with white and then they went over the entire surface using some pearl powder. But I wasn't really thinking of it like that, and I was kind of just experimenting with different things. So after I have the swirls on that nail, I'm gonna paint my pinky nail and my pointer finger with a little bit of top coat. And next we're gonna go ahead and start adding a little bit of this pearl powder. This is the same pearl powder that I used for my glazed donut nails a very long time ago. And I literally have not used it since then, like it's been that long. And then for my pointer finger, I'm gonna be using this colorful iridescent pearl powder. And this one is just like so colorful, like it just shifts in so many different colors. And I just love adding it because it just makes everything a little bit more interesting. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure in the reference photo, they used maybe a pearl powder that kind of shifted a little bit orange, but I don't have that. So I just used whatever I had and I think it still looked pretty good. You still got the same effect. And then afterwards, I finished off my pinky by adding a little bit of those pearls as well. And lastly, I'm gonna go over the entire surface of these nails using a layer of top coat. So the first hand is done, and now we're gonna move on to the other one. And this hand is essentially the exact same thing, except instead of it being a fish, it's gonna be a jellyfish. So for this hand, I'm probably not gonna be doing too much explaining because it's honestly like literally just the same thing, just switched up. So I thought that because I'm not gonna be explaining too much, I wanted to check and see like how you guys have been doing and what you guys have been up to at least this far into July. So let me know like what you guys have been doing doing for the summer. Like, have you guys gone to any cookouts? Have you guys like gone to the beach, gone to the pool? Are you guys on vacation, or are you guys just like chilling out? Me personally, I have literally not been doing anything this summer. Like, literally, I haven't done anything. I do plan on doing some things in August, so I'm not too sad about that. But to be honest, so far, I've literally just been like staying home and like chilling. But one thing I will say is I have literally been watching so many like commentary, like video essays on like YouTube and stuff, and they've just been like so entertaining. And I don't really know if you guys are really into the whole video essay thing that's been going on YouTube, but they are so interesting. And I love watching the messy and just like crazy drama-filled video essays on YouTubers that I've literally never heard of. Like, there's something so fun about just watching and listening to the life story of people that you would literally never know. For example, I've been watching a lot of June the King. He is a YouTuber who does video essays on different YouTubers and stuff like that. And literally every video that I've watched by him, I'm like, who is this person? Like, literally, who is this person that they're talking about? Meanwhile, these people have like tens of millions of subscribers, and I'm like, I've literally never heard of this person before. But honestly, it's just been so interesting, and I really love content like that. Like, my YouTube subscription is very much based on, I guess, information and just things that I can like listen to. Even with that being said, I'm not really much of a podcast person, but I love watching videos that I don't really have to pay too much attention to, because for the most part, I'll just put on a video and then I'll like do something else. Like, maybe I'll cook dinner, or maybe I'll play a game or something. Like, sometimes I'll just put on true crime and then just like start playing The Sims or something like that. Also, are any of you guys Sims players? And if you are, can we just talk about how ridiculous The Sims has been this summer? Like, it's honestly just been so bad. And I'm like, I love The Sims. I've always loved The Sims ever since I was a kid. But The Sims 4 has really just been giving me like so many issues, especially after the release of the For Rent expansion pack. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, because you know what? I do use mods, right? I do use mods. I have a ton of CC, and I probably have a lot of broken CC that I have to sort through. But even when I play the game without CC, it's broken to all hell. Like, I can't even play sometimes. And then I'll go on Reddit and I'm like, okay, like, how do I fix this one issue? Or I'll go on eaanswers.com and I'm like, how do I fix this one issue? And I'm just like, dude, what is going on? And then on top of that, it's like they keep releasing broken expansion packs and game packs. I can't even say that they're like even releasing game packs anymore. They haven't released a game pack, I think, since like Werewolves. Now I feel like they're focusing so much on kids. Anyway, I'm just going off on a really bad tangent, but if you guys play The Sims and your game is like low-key kind of broken, you know my pain. But anyway, I've been playing a lot of Sims recently. Well, trying to play, like, I don't know, it's just really difficult. But when I can play it, it's fun. I have a great time. And my favorite thing to do in The Sims is create families and casts and build. I'm mainly a builder. Like, that's my thing. Like, I love building a beautiful, luxurious house or an apartment or a loft. And maybe one day, like, I'll share some screenshots with you guys. I don't know. And if you guys are into The Sims, definitely let me know what your favorite way to play The Sims is. Oh, and also let me know your favorite Sims game. So on my pointer finger for my right hand, I'm also going to be creating another star similarly to what I did on my left thumb. And I really wanted to mention this because I think it's so funny, but I finally got the silicone tool that you need for this type of nail glue gel. And the reason I think it's funny is because I was actually using a rhinestone picker as like my tool for this. And honestly, like, I think that the rhinestone picker worked just as well as this, but I just think it's so funny how, like, if I don't have something, I use something that literally doesn't make any sense and I make it work. I don't know. I just think it's just so funny to me. But I finally got it, and I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely starting to get into buying a lot more nail tools. Like, I also really want to get the like ombre brushes, the brushes that have like gaps in between, because I really want to see how well it works works. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was funny to mention. Like even when it came to the aura effect that I would create using gel polish and a fan brush, that literally came out of thin air. And I was just like, you know what, let's try it and see if it works. And then there'd be people in the comments, suggesting that I try the sponge method. And I was like, I don't really like it. So I'm just gonna stick to the fan brush. And then, some people, they use the airbrush tool. And I'm like, I don't know, should I buy that? I mean, this method kind of works for me. The fan brush is like my best friend. And then you have everyone who was using the pigments. And I was very skeptical about it until now. But even still, I just want to say that if you use very weird alternate methods, do not feel bad. If it worked for you, then it works for you. And if anybody is making you feel bad for using the tools that you're using or doing something that's not exactly correct, don't feel too bad, because honestly, that's how we learn. And even though it's good to learn using the proper way, I think it's also important to be innovative, because sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you literally don't have what you need and you have to make it work. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that for anyone who's a little weirdo like me and just uses whatever they can to make it work. You are definitely not weird. You are innovative. And honestly, innovation is so, so important. So for this jellyfish nail, I'm going to be drawing another star. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This summer, I've just been really loving stars, like stars in nail sets, stars in my everyday life. And speaking of stars, I have so many like star charms for my locks, and I really have to do my retwist because I want to put some stars in my hair now. Like after this nail set, I want stars everywhere. But speaking of my hair and doing a retwist, you guys, I've been so bad. It's been almost a month and a half since my last retwist. And honestly, like it's not too bad. Most of the time I will just kind of like separate my locks just like in between every single wash, because I really don't like to do retwists more than once a month because my locks are pretty thick and I don't want them to start thinning out and just looking crazy. Not to mention I am color treated, so I don't really like to mess with them and like wash them too much and dry them out even further. But it's just getting to be ridiculous, not because of the frizz. I honestly love frizz and I think that frizz is something to embrace with natural hair, but I need a retwist because my hair is so dry and I need to deep condition it. But I don't want to wash it and not retwist it because then it's going to like mat together and I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, that's kind of the dilemma I'm in. One of the most difficult things to deal with when it comes to my locks is, one, I am doing my entire lock process by myself and this is my first time ever having locks. And with that comes a lot of criticism from people who are like vetted, like they literally have had locks since like 19. You know what I'm saying? Like those people are like so picky and just kind of rude when it comes to people who do their locks now in a different way than they did theirs like 90 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll tell you like, oh, I didn't need to brush my locks, or oh, I didn't need to do this or do that. And it's like, well, let people do what works best for them. Like, why is it such a big problem for you? Like if your locks are fine, then your locks are fine. So yeah, I think with that, I'm struggling to find ways to, I guess, maintain my locks. Luckily, my hair is nice and strong, even with color, it's nice and strong. And I don't have any problems with thinning or my hair being super brittle. But it's times like these when I want to wait on my retwist that I really need help because my hair is so dry. Like it's so dry. Also, while I'm here talking your ear off, definitely let me know if you guys prefer more talkative videos or if you want something that's a little bit more tutorial based where I just talk about the nails and nothing else. I know there are a lot of you guys who prefer me to do more talking in my videos, but if you guys do like more quiet videos, definitely do let me know and I will try and I guess accommodate for both crowds. So finally, this hand is almost done and we're just gonna go ahead and finish it off with a little bit of top coat. And that completes today's set. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This nail set came out literally like exactly the way I wanted it to. And honestly, it just feels so nice to have both hands done. I haven't had both hands done like this in such a long time. Now in the ending shots, I'm not gonna lie, my right hand does not move the way I want it to, and I'm a little bit she's camera shy, okay? She's a little bit camera shy, but I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I really do love this nail set, and honestly, I'm gonna be coming out with so many more summer nail sets all the way up until probably September, so definitely get used to these kinds of videos. I just love the blue and the orange, and even though I'm probably gonna be wearing a brown bikini when I go to the beach, I definitely think that it'll still work. So yeah, if I were to give this nail set a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I do think that I could kind of improve the shaping on my right hand, but other than that, I definitely think that this nail set is a win. So definitely leave your ratings down below for me in the comments. But as always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one.